on.
Okay, so have you always seen yourself being a substance use counselor?
No, I did not see myself being a substance use counselor. In fact, I saw me being a Wizard of Wall Street, then later on a mechanical engineer. But my addiction got in the way of all those things, and and due to my addiction, I ended up becoming a substance use counselor. Um, I went to my second rehab was with Hilltop, and I was up there in 2014 when they were up on the mountain, and I left there, and then I came back when they went after the Valley Fire, and they moved down to the Oaks, and I started. They asked me if I wanted, and I was volunteering. I'd show up for meetings. I'd bring people to meetings there, and they asked me if I wanted to start as a support staff, and I was like, I don't think so. And then because I knew how hard it was for them, but then and they asked me again, and I took it home and I took it into prayer, and I came back with as far as I'm concerned, they're the best in the business, and they're going to teach me, and then B, they're the best in the business, and they can want something that I have to offer. So so I took it, and I worked with them as support staff. After I was there for a year as support staff, Lori, the executive director, asked me if I wanted to become a counselor, and I was like, let me think about it for a minute. And I got a hold of Voc Rehab, and they paid for my my schooling to become a counselor, and then the rest is history.
That's awesome. So you've been doing this work for a while?
I've been in the business. I've been in recovery business just about as long as I've been sober. For about not that long. I've been in the business for about 8 years, and I've been a counselor for about 7.
Wow.
6 or 7.
So what does your job duties look like?
What do my job duties look like? It's a very good question, because it's always changing. You know, I have a caseload of people that I see weekly or bi-weekly, and they process their week with me. I might give them some homework, might provoke some thought, some discuss recovery. Some people, depending on what method they choose to, they request me to work with them. I use that method to work with them in recovery. I also do screenings and recommend people to go to residential treatment, go to court for people, advocate for people, and then also and then I also on the side I show up for events. I give Narcan training and pass out Narcan kits at events. A lot of paperwork. I do all the paperwork, keep all the notes on everybody, and and also business meetings and stuff like that. And I have to keep my bosses appraised of what I'm doing, keep them in the loop on what I'm doing. I also do a little bit of technical stuff. I keep financial records for who we have, because we fund for people in treatment, we fund for people in residential treatment as well as sober living, and I keep track of those records and keep track of everybody that's in there, and talk to their case managers and see how they're doing. I talk to them, see how they're doing, and provide little notes to my superiors about it.
Wow.
That about covers it. And also too, I represent tribal health. When I'm out in the public, I represent tribal health. When I'm working events, I represent tribal health. When I'm when we hold events, because we also hold events, and represent tribal health. As far as a counselor and as a professional. So that about covers it. Also, I run groups. I run I co-facilitate a substance use relapse prevention group on Wednesdays. I also run a grief group, a meditation group, and I'd like to do more groups because it's necessary. And I'm also getting ready to go into training for Red Road.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. It's medicine wheel and the 12 steps.
That's awesome. That's exciting.
I'm looking forward to that big time.
Yeah, that's needed in the community too.
Big time.
Yeah. Can the work get heavy sometimes?
Always.
Always.
Always. The work get heavy in secondary trauma is real. Mm-hmm. Vicarious trauma real. Mm-hmm. And counselor fatigue is real. Mm-hmm. So I have to take care of myself in every respect. I'm a big I take care of my own recovery, and a lot of people think that being in this business helps my recovery, and not really. I have to be up on my game on my recovery in order to perform as a counselor. Mm-hmm. Being a counselor is not a part of my recovery. Mm-hmm. Being a counselor is not a part of my recovery. That got drilled into me when I was at Hilltop Residential. I am not. I'm not sponsoring these people. I am counseling these people. There's a difference between a 12-step sponsor and a recovery counselor, and I have to make that perfectly clear. I have to learn boundaries. I have to practice boundaries. I have to learn to keep work at home, and my bosses work hard, play hard. You know, I'm going to work hard. I better play just as hard to deal with that vicarious trauma. I need to process with somebody, what I'm going through, and let it go. Because this work does get heavy, especially with the fentanyl crisis. Even before the fentanyl crisis, there at least 15 people that I know of that I have physically worked with are dead due to overdose, suicide, homicide, gang violence, all of it.
Yeah.
So that gets heavy. So I have to learn and practice boundaries all the time. I have to have my awareness heightened of my boundaries all the time.
That's good.
Yeah, and that because this does get heavy, and when it stops being heavy, then I have to look at myself, because then there's a problem. Then there's a problem with my perception. Because this work is heavy. When people that are in this work are very empathetic. And it's really hard not to carry this stuff, because the empathy is a huge asset to building trust, building alliances with clients, but and building trust, and but it can go too far, and I really have to keep my awareness heightened on that.
That's good. Yeah. You've been intentional at separating your work and your recovery and your home life.
Exactly.
That's really good.
Exactly.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, and do you see yourself going in other avenues in this field of work?
I do. I want to, I'm going back to school, looking into social work. I want to focus on trauma, on the trauma aspect, because that is one of the number one reasons why people get into substance use and whatnot. I mean, if you think about it, as somebody that has a substance use disorder, perhaps this person's experienced some trauma, and they deal with this trauma by turning to substance. Okay. Now they go into this substance world and go down the hill, go down a little bit. They start to get into a world that is not what they're used to. Mm-hmm. And so then they open themselves up to experience more trauma. And then they, due to their drug use, they may do stuff they wouldn't normally do, which is and then cause self-inflicted trauma with regret and remorse. Then they may get involved with law enforcement.
Yeah.
Then they may go to jail or prison. Now they're in prison and they have to put on the gorilla suit and they have to stuff down all that trauma that they've been using over. And then they have to go in and do stuff they would not normally do and cause more trauma. Or they may have stuff done to them to cause more trauma.
Yeah.
And then they get out of prison and it's like, okay, go be a good person now. When they don't know how.
Yeah.
They don't know. They've spent the last 5-10 years as a soldier in a gorilla suit holding back all this pain. Mm-hmm. You know, and they're confused. So that is an aspect that I would like to delve more into. I think that I can do a lot, be very helpful.
Yeah.
And to learn more about that and how to deal with that, because I think a lot of people know how to, or there are professionals that know how to deal with it, but they don't know how to talk to the people that are affected.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the people that are affected, the convicts, the low bottom alcoholics and addicts, they don't trust these professionals. And these professionals have the knowledge of what to do, but they don't know how to present it.
Yeah.
And I feel like I can reach these people. Mm-hmm. I feel like that I have that I can build trust and an alliance with these people that maybe they'll listen. Mm-hmm. You know,
I know you can.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
know you can. That's an important part too. What you just explained, like the trauma, acknowledging the trauma, and then it promotes the healing. You know, oftentimes we just skip to one thing and we don't acknowledge the trauma.
Right.
You know, so that's an important part, especially in the tribal community. We all have intergenerational traumas that affected us and have led us to substance abuse. At least in my case, it was.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's not like somebody can walk in and say, "Okay, what's your trauma?"
Yeah.
Let's get it on the table.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that, because now they're going to suck it back and never going to share it.
Yeah.
They're never going to share it. So it takes time to open the doors, to let guards down, and then have conversations, and then it starts to come out.
Yeah.
Oh, I hear you had this. You know, oh, I hear you saying, did this happen? You know, type of thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But right now, I'm just scratching the surface with this. I really would like to learn more.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited. I'm excited for your future.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
And mine too. Thank you for the interview.
I'm excited for your future.
Thank you.
Yeah, you know, because I've watched you grow.
Aw, thank you.
I mean, is this okay on the?
Yeah.
Okay. I've watched you. I mean, is that breaching confidentiality?
No.
Okay. So I have permission to talk.
Yes.
I have verbal permission to to talk. Okay. I've watched you grow from fresh out of recovery, fresh out of Athena House, with 2 babies and not knowing what that was going, not knowing what to do, and I had the privilege of watching you grow and become this amazing person, and watching the world or the universe or the creator or all of it just starting to shower you with opportunities that you're just opening up
Thank
to.
you.
And the way you've responded to the world is, oh, that's mine, thank you, is more like, let's give back. Let's continue to give. Let's build our relationship with the creator who continues to shower these gifts on me.
Yeah.
You know, and that is just amazing to me.
Oh,
because so many people don't do that. Look at me, look what I can do. Look at me, look what I can do. And you are look what the creator's done for me. You know, look what the creator's given me. And that is, you know, people talk about the attitude of gratitude, want. You are living the attitude of gratitude.
Oh, thank you.
And I see it, and you smile and you shine everywhere you walk, and you bring happiness and joy everywhere you go. And I think you're going to be such an awesome asset wherever you end up.
Thank you.
Keeping on this path, and
that means a lot to me.
well,
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We made 15 minutes.
Yay.
Thank you, Professor Dempster. Here, say hi.
Hello, Sean Panessa.